Salute wrestling friends and welcome to the Goodbread Wrestling channel, also known as Figure 4 TV. Now, I'm going to get straight on into it. Booker T just responded to that little disrespectful, sassy dude, Swerve Strickland in AEW. And man, Booker T took the classic route, y'all. So without any further ado, let's get straight on into that.
1 year, this kid right here that you supported for these last 12, 13 years, 1 year, 5 main event pay-per-views for Swerve Strickland. I don't just speak about representation, I go out there and prove the fucking thing. And I only make it this far because of you people right here chanting, whose house? Every single city, every single arena, every stadium, whether it's the United States or if it's in London, in front of 50,000, 80,000, I don't care if it's 200. I always want to hear y'all chant, whose house? Whose house? Whose house? Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for the merchandise. Get home safely. And one last thing, just for my amusement, fuck Booker T.
Everybody going to be expect to be. Let's rewind. I woke up this morning and I'm wondering, why is my name trending? Why is my name all over the social media? And then I see the video of Swerve Strickland saying F Booker T at the end of what was it?
Dynasty.
The AEW pay-per-view. And you know what? I'm not gonna even get upset about that or anything like that. But I'm gonna give Swerve Strickland a little bit of advice, just a little bit. And that advice would be, don't be talking about something other than the pay-per-view at the end of the night. You know what I mean? That's the main event. That's the last thing people are going to remember. Last thing people remember is me, Booker T, my name being said. And I'm sure if Tony Khan really don't appreciate the news, the headline not being what happened at Dynasty and with all the matches, hopefully with the great card, with all the great card, all the great matches. But they're talking about Booker T. That just was a bad move. It was a bad move. And there again, he's got a lot of energy, at the end of a show, but I'm not that type, man. I'm from that school. If you got something to say to somebody, you say it in their face, you say it to their face. And, I'm going to leave it at that. You know what I mean? Hopefully Swerve Strickland will have a hell of a career. Hopefully he'll do very, very well in this business. But I'm going to keep stressing what I've been talking about for a long time as far as Black folks, especially in the company that I work for. Man, go out there and get it on your talent. Go out there and get it on your merit. Nobody will ever be able to take it away, and no one will ever be able to say you got it because of only for your talent. That's it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep advocating for young guys, to go out there and perform at the highest level. Take what you want, because it's not going to be given to you. You got to take it. And the only way you're going to be able to take it is, through your performance, how good you really are inside the square circle, So that's as much as I'm going to say on that issue as far as Swerve Strickland goes.
Well, I think that's a beautiful response. And, I saw the video as well. And you know what? I'm gonna follow your lead, Book, and I'm gonna keep it classy too. But I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on it. But to me, man, if you have something you want to say, you say it to a man's face when you have an opportunity. And if you have an opportunity to say it to a man's face and you don't, and you say it behind his back, or when you think you're going to get clout from it, there's a word for that. There's a word for that. You know what I mean? There's a word for the way that is portrayed and the way somebody acts. And you know what I mean? I'll let people fill in the blank on what that word might be. You know what I mean? But Booker T, you're at the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena this Saturday. You know what I mean? If somebody's got something to say to your face, you can say it there. I'll say it to somebody's face if they want to show up. You know what I mean? Somebody wants to show up, I'll say it. You know what I mean? Because after that display, I feel pretty good about handling myself.
You know what, though, man? The one person that's laughing, is Vlad TV. He's the one that's laughing, because he got all this stuff, started and stirred up. And now Swerve Strickland, I thought this thing was over with. I really did. I swear to God, the last thing I thought about was waking up this morning to an FU.
He saw he did it too. He like snuck it in there, dropped the mic, got the hell out of the ring.
I mean,
There's a word for the book. There's a word for that. I don't know what the word is, but there's a word for that. Somebody will tell me.
No, man, it's just this generation, man. This generation. Like I say, I'm an advocate for all young Black talent getting into this business, but I'm an advocate for so many more young kids than just Black, kids getting into this business. I'm an advocate for, anybody that got the talent to actually, make it to the next level. I'm gonna put a word in for them, and I think my reputation I've been solid, throughout my career. Like I say, I don't publicize a lot of things, but the guys out there, they know if I've been, on the side of, righteousness as far as this business goes. They know what Booker T has done behind the scenes. I don't have to, talk about it on social media. I'm not trying to get some extra, brownie points or anything for anything that I've done, but they know, they know. And people like Swerve, him and I, we cut from a different cloth, man. We totally cut from a different cloth. And there again, but I honestly, I wish nothing but the best for this dude, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I want to see him succeed. Will I ever say anything positive about him ever again? Probably not. You know what I mean? Will I ever put him over? And as far as being a good worker and someone who could perhaps transform this bit, I probably would never ever do that again. You know what I mean? Because I've learned my lesson. It's like
done it before.
It's like a dog. You know what I mean? I got a boxer downstairs, man, and we fight. We play, man, hard. I'm serious, man. He'll get the meanest growl that you've ever heard in your life. But trust me, when I put my hand in his mouth, he won't bite it. He would not bite the hand that feed him. You know what I mean? And so there again.
I just feel like, you got to have respect for the people who come before you. And I mean, in book, like anybody who laces up a pair of boots or even puts on a headset like me, we owe a debt of gratitude to you and so many people who came out of that generation that made us love this thing and want to continue to be a part of it. And, I'm playing around a little bit with some of the stuff that I'm saying, but I do really mean it. Like, if you got something to say, like you can say it to a man's face and you can leave it at that. You know what I mean? I don't know what the idea was behind that. I thought that it was, I thought it was disrespectful. And but I too wish him nothing but the best. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he's successful. 1,000 years of success. 1,000 years of success.
I ain't gonna bring personal beef to my job.
That's
the last thing I'm gonna do is bring a personal beef to my job. So I'm gonna leave it at that though. Stick around, guys. You in the Hall of Fame, man.
Booker T is 100% right, yo. So Swerve Strickland, Mr. Swerve, not only is you a coward, you are a dummy. Thank you, Mr. Swerve. See how you did? And I know Tony Khan is probably banging his head on. You just, Swerve, you ruined your push right now. Tony Khan is going to put you so far in the back of the line. This is why you didn't win last night. You was never going to beat Jon Moxley, just like you didn't beat Daniel Bryan. Sir, you got the big head, sir. You got the big head because MJF got injured. Samoa Joe, we needed to get the title off of Samoa Joe. He was only a transitional champion again because MJF got injured and your boy Will was in Tony's ear, and there you go. You got your push. Your push is over now, sir. Your push is over. They're not even talking about Dynasty, the pay-per-view. They talking about you and Booker T. Your little, and I ain't even gonna call it disrespect because that's not disrespect. That's corny. That was corny. That's what that was.
A man that has
Booker, my wife Yvonne. Okay.
My brother, when he got out of prison, he had to have something to do, make him feel like he has a purpose.
One of the properties we bought was a mini storage. It was actually one of the larger ones in southwestern United States at the time. Lash had already been hired and was at the property, and he had asked me the question whether or not I would mind hiring his brother. and that he would vouch for him. And I told him, sure.
You mentioned me briefly here
Oh,
and there.
man, you're the reason I'm here. One of the real reasons, you know what I mean? You believed in me. I showed him how much I was willing to work. I worked there from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. 6 days a week.
We worked well together, we did things together, and when they had the opportunities, they took them.
My brother came to me and he told me that Ivan Putski was going to be opening a wrestling school, and he was thinking about going to it, and he came to me and asked me if I wanted to try it out.
I was like, let's do it, man. We'll figure out a way to get the money up because we didn't know how expensive it was going to be.
Actually, Bruce Kasarch, he sponsored me to go to the wrestling school. So wherever you are, Bruce, I'll thank you.
It's giving chances, not second chance or third. Everyone, if they really need it or want it, should have a chance.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
It's gonna be a big night.
Can't wait to see it.
It's gonna be a big night. And I wouldn't be here talking if it wasn't for Bruce Kasarch.
So serious, it just doesn't work for
I've been a wrestling fan since I was a young boy.
I got the best seat in the house.
He does. Except, no, the best seat's when you're standing in the ring.
No, that's not the best seat. Oh!
It was my wife Yvonne's first wrestling match. Being able to help someone see it through the first time through their eyes is a blast.
Exciting.
Bruce, he was in my corner. He was a guy who was willing to put a hand out and say, hey man, I'm willing to help you. And I'm willing to believe in you if you're willing to believe in yourself.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
No lie, he's wild in there.